Welcome back to Survival Mode. Today's topic is crisis on the Mississippi River. And this crisis on the Mississippi River is so serious. I'm going to give you the details on what we're looking at.
And just it's going to be like it's a major impact on not just our economy.
Yes,
but
it's
the
a
global
major
economy.
Yes, it's a major impact on the global economy as well.
Yeah.
Right now, we're looking at the Mississippi River is 20 feet lower than normal.
Right. And
Yeah.
actually, I remember when they were talking about the report, they actually showed the guy standing underneath one of the bridges on the Mississippi. And when he pointed to kind of show where the level should be based upon where he was standing,
Yes.
that was a very, very dramatic reduction of the water levels there.
Yes, it was. And it was so disturbing because when you drive across the bridge of the Mississippi River, it's the mighty Mississippi River.
Supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
supposed
mighty Mississippi River. And, this is affecting us here in the U.S.
Right.
in global,
Right.
And,
Right.
Barges are getting stuck at a point where they can't move through,
That's true. That's true. That's true. Barges are being put in positions to where they really just can't do anything, and there's nothing they can do about it. In fact, I think they reported that there was at one point 2,000 barges that were stuck on the Mississippi River. So
Wow.
there were no exports going on whatsoever.
Wow, 2,000 barges.
Yeah,
and,
2,000.
And you can just imagine. And also, there was 127 vessels that was reported that pulled the barges.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And that's a lot of vessels.
That is.
With the low water level.
Right.
That's very important. We really don't think about the Mississippi River like exporting goods because everybody talks about the coastal ports.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. That's a very good point.
Yes.
Because that wasn't something that really crossed my mind very much either.
Yeah.
When you think about imports and exports, you kind of think about the like he said, the coastal areas.
Yes.
The East Coast, the southern ports and whatnot, but you never hardly think about the Mississippi River being responsible for exporting tons and tons of goods around the country and around the globe.
Yes, because the Mississippi River flows from the north all the way through the south, and that's domestic.
Yes.
Transportation for all the goods that's in this country.
Yeah.
Going from north to south and east to west through train, railroad systems.
Yep.
However they transport all of that.
Yep.
And you think about it, that's something serious when you think about, like the Mississippi River is in that position.
Correct.
Correct.
Now, in one of the news reports, it stated that the Mississippi River Basin was actually produces 92% of U.S. agricultural exports.
Wow.
Now, that's a lot of goods. When you think about 98% of the U.S. agricultural goods that have to use the lanes in the Mississippi River, whether they're going north or south.
Yes. And then you also have places, that's on the Mississippi River that like Tennessee.
Yeah.
Is very low.
Yeah.
Like that's probably going to the East Coast. That's kind of like like if a train system goes east, Tennessee's like northern of the Mississippi.
Okay.
And then you got Arkansas is very low in Arkansas.
Yeah.
So east and west of Arkansas, you got, places that having problems there, and New Orleans.
Yeah,
So
well, definitely New Orleans.
yes,
Yeah, I know for certain the issues that they're having in New Orleans, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, what was that? if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to speak on it because I don't have the facts, but I think they're trying to deepen the Mississippi in the New Orleans area. I think they're trying to deepen the waters there,
Yes.
as a result of water levels being so low, and they're actually blaming it on global warming.
Wow, global warming.
Yeah, they're blaming the water levels, the low levels, the drought. Of course, they're saying it's because of the drought, but then, of course, you have higher officials that are saying it's because of global warming.
Yes.
That has affected the water level so tremendously on the Mississippi. So
Yes.
that's something else to think about.
Yes. And you think about what's really on these barges, mainly grain,
Yeah,
steel,
yeah.
soybeans.
Soybeans.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the farmer who really was saying that he can't really wait anymore
Yes.
and
Yes.
depend on the Mississippi to move his soybean crop.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he has to move it.
Yes. That's in Arkansas, and
Okay.
and that's where it's really really low, and he's losing $40,000 at this moment.
Wow.
$40,000 because he can't move his soybean.
Wow, that is a lot.
And not just
Yeah.
and you think about all the other products that's stuck,
Right.
is at a standstill.
Right.
So what would that mean to our pockets when we go shopping in the near future?
Right.
When we go
Right.
shopping. So right now we really putting this information out here so you can go and get what you need ahead of time.
True.
True.
Because the prices, things like this, we don't think about it, but it does cause prices to rise.
Yes. So
When you have a low amount of any particular commodity or goods or anything like that,
yes.
when you don't have an abundance of something, it causes the prices to skyrocket on that particular item.
Yes.
And so you can just imagine how the goods that are located on the barges, when you think about a barge, you got to remember what you're looking at. You might see train cars on a train, and you could see 20 cars on one train or 50 cars on, that's connected together as they move down train tracks. But when you think about a barge can carry way more than 20. Hundreds and hundreds of those containers can be moved on a barge. So the load on a barge
it's huge.
Is much greater than what you would see moving down a rail system.
Yes.
You see? So just imagine the thousands of tons of grains and other products that are just not moving on the Mississippi River. But this is mostly, I think, agricultural.
Yes.
How it's affecting the agriculture of this country. And then what is it going to do to other countries? Because we do export so many goods. And I think the amount of goods that is exported globally is like 78%. That moves down the Mississippi River. That's 78% of globally shipped grains or exported grains to other countries. So of course this is going to impact the global economy as well.
Yes, and you think about the global economy. You think about the grain.
Yeah.
Normally grains will produce in the springtime, and we heading right into the winter.
Yeah.
So right now we heading into the winter time. What would that mean? Like if the grains are not moving, we can't transport them, store shelves, in the wintertime, and then we have to wait all the way until the springtime.
And then, of course, the goods that are made with those grains, I mean, you're not going to probably go to a grocery store and just buy, raw grains like that. You might have to get those from a specialty location that will sell you raw grains like wheat, berries, or things like that. But when you start thinking about other grains, that they use to turn into flours, right? Think about rice. When you think about rice flour, you think about all of these different grains that have been processed into a form that you can go to the store and buy them in a little 5-pound bag. Well, what happens when that 5-pound bag can't be on the shelf right now?
Yeah.
A lot of us go to the store and we buy our flours and our oats and things of that nature, and we buy them right off the shelf. But with this emergency, you don't know what the shelves are going to look like.
Yeah. And speaking on the steel that's on the barges.
Right.
We use metals and steels to make processing equipment to produce the bread. grain mill, what you turn,
Right.
you
Right.
know, that's processed through steel.
Correct.
So, you know, it's not like a serious situation right now when it comes to like grain, because grain is more precious. We need that
Yeah.
right now.
Right.
We need that food right now, you know.
Right.
And you know, the mighty Mississippi, we never talk about that domestic transportation hub that we have on the Mississippi River.
Right.
You know, that's domestic. You know, that's something that we've been using. Nobody really talks about the Mississippi River, but it's very low.
Right.
It's
Very,
very,
low.
very low.
Very low, you
Yeah.
all. So I would just say look closely into it, because you don't know how this could impact you directly. It will impact us directly. It's going to have an impact on all of us, you know, whether we're U.S. based or we're based in other countries. It's going to definitely have an effect on all of us, right? So and actually, you all, one of the other things I would say about the effect on the local economy is the fact that, I think I may have said this, the prices get higher.
Yes, yeah. The prices get higher and higher, and
Correct.
you know, they don't want to give us sticker shock.
Right.
So they're kind of like gauge it up little by little. 20, 30 cents
Right.
higher, and all of a
Right.
sudden, all the way up.
That's true. That's
so,
true.
So the message that we are sending at survival mode,
Right.
get it while you can.
Right.
We want to be ahead of time before anything happens. We don't want to be out there when you know, store shelves are
Bare.
bare. You know, we don't want to be in panic.
Or actually worse than they are, because they are bare right now.
Yeah.
But, you know, just imagine when, you know, those things are just not coming in at all.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know what the solution is going to be for this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of course, they can put more trucks on the highway. They can probably put more rail cars on the highway.
Yes.
But how long is that going to take?
Yeah.
You know, how long is that going to take? You know, what kind of gap is that going to cause between, you know, from the time it's processed and sent to market? What kind of gap is that going to cause?
Yes.
So that's definitely something to keep in mind. You know, we probably don't think about these little small things, or they may seem small to us.
Yeah.
You know, especially for some of us who don't really pay attention to things like this. You know, we might just be focused on, you know, well, I need bread, so I'm going to run to the store and buy bread. You know, I'm going to go grab me a loaf of bread. But, you know, before that bread ever gets to your shelf, that bread has been a lot of places.
Yes.
You know, and I'm not talking about like from the, you know, the point that it's cooked or baked and then packaged and then shipped. I'm talking about before the grain ever gets to the manufacturing company to even begin to make the bread, you know.
Yes.
So there's a process. But what happens when you just can't run in the store and buy that loaf of bread?
Yes. And also we think about the beans and rice that you can get now.
Yeah.
You know, beans and rice may not look good to you now. You probably say, I don't have a taste for beans and rice. I eat beans and rice all the time.
Yeah.
So when you get a chance to stock up on it, when times get hard,
Yep.
beans and rice gonna be like, oh man, I can use some good beans and rice. And then if I can get some,
That'll be like caviar.
yeah, yeah, it'd be like caviar. You know, beans and rice is filling, it's hearty.
Yeah.
You think about stuff like oatmeal,
Yeah.
even if you eat grits,
Yeah.
stuff that'll go a long way to feed the whole family.
Right. That's true.
You know,
That's true.
you know.
And that's actually a very good point when you start thinking about grains. Make sure you not only that you get the grains that you know you can eat and enjoy, but think about the fact that, like Mr. H just said, it's very, very filling.
Yes.
You know, a bowl of oatmeal or a bowl of rice with something on it. It might not be much at all. It could just be rice and butter. But, or like Mr. H said, beans over rice. Think about how filling those grains are, and a small amount goes a very long way. You know, so actually I would be thinking about getting my hands on more and more of the grains that we enjoy eating while you can get your hands on them. Because actually, when you think about the fact that there's always something going on that happens that affects the food supply.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Always.
yeah, you want to be mindful of that, and you don't want to wait until, you have one bag of beans on the shelf, and now you have one bag of beans in your cabinet, and now you have to run to the store and see if you can get your hands on some.
Yes.
So a crisis like this, I'm sure there'll be a solution.
Yes.
But what if it's not?
Yeah. And see, the reason why we mentioning these beans and rice, they won't spoil.
Yeah. If you store them properly, they will last long.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're going to keep them long term, you want to learn how to properly store your beans and rice, because believe it or not, beans will go bad. If you just leave beans in the same bag that they came in, and you keep them for years, just like that, trust me, you will cook those beans for 6 months before they're soft enough for you to enjoy.
Oh man, that's a long time. That's a long time. Yeah, yeah. You want to properly store those,
right?
The best way how to store them, we can do a video. We did a video on that.
Yeah.
But
on food storage.
Yeah, but that mighty Mississippi River, when it's low, it means a lot.
It means
to your stomach and to your pockets.
It does. Yes, it does.
So right now we want to make sure we pay attention to all of that. We want to make sure we capitalize on all the food we can get now.
Right.
We don't want to wait, because it's been like 70 years since the Mississippi River has been this low.
Right.
Just think about that, y'all. We haven't been around 70 years.
Yeah.
Most of us to
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So that happened long before we got here.
Man.
That happened before we got here. So that means people that are older than us probably remember that. But they probably are saying that they never thought that they would see it again.
Yes. Yes. Just imagine. And you think about all the, a lot of people, I don't know if they fish off the Mississippi River, but the Mississippi River, it provides a lot of things besides just shipping things north and south.
Correct.
Water source that goes into New Orleans. I know they got a big seaport, where they fish.
Correct.
Mississippi River fills a lot of lakes and ponds, probably.
Yeah.
And so the Mississippi River is very important to the domestic life of the United States. So
that's true.
So we want to think about all of that.
That's true, you all. And actually, I was looking here, and the fact is that it says here, and you can look this information up for yourself as well, but it is basically saying that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is currently working on deepening the Mississippi River from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to the Gulf of Mexico. So to deepen the Mississippi River in an effort to prevent barges being stuck when water levels are low, that is what they're working on right now. But that's not a quick solution. That's something that can take years to complete.
Yes. Because
we're talking about from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Of course, Baton Rouge is not far from the Gulf Coast, but at the same time, that's a lot of work when you're talking about deepening the Mississippi River. That takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. That takes a lot. So that's not something that's going to solve this crisis today.
Yes.
We have to, there's going to have to be some other solutions in play before this issue is ever resolved by deepening the Mississippi.
Yes.
So
what we're going to need is water, rain.
Yeah.
So I don't know, in the wintertime, do we get as much rain that we get it like in the springtime or whatever?
It just depends. We never know.
So because we don't know what's going to happen, with this winter. We got a crazy winter coming.
That's true.
Well.
But yep, we just wanted to bring that topic to your attention. If you've seen it but really didn't understand like how it could really impact you directly, we just wanted to bring that topic to your attention, and you can further your own research. Just go online, pay attention to certain reports that's happening, with that crisis on the Mississippi, because it's definitely a crisis.
Yes.
It's definitely a crisis.
Yes.
Okay, so this can impact all of us, like
Yes.
almost immediately.
Yes,
You
it
will
can.
see this being a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a problem, but
Yeah.
we got a solution
Yep.
temporarily.
Mhm.
Get out and get your grain. Get in survival mode, y'all.
Get in survival mode. You
Get in
all.
survival mode so we can survive whatever we see that could be a problem. If we act ahead of time, we can solve that problem by getting our supplies.
That's true, y'all.
Our
And
grain.
remember, we never say that we are preppers, you all. We always just consider ourselves in survival mode. All
Yes,
right?
will. And that'll do it today on today's edition of Survival Mode. Peace.
See y'all in the next video.
Peace.